just like that, we're back with another one. I'll be working myself like a MAPPA animator to get these animations out more frequently, so watch till the end and let me cook. Joining the gauntlet in this video will once again feature Mr. Left-Right himself, Yuji Itadori, going up against several MHA characters. I'm having a lot of fun animating Yuji recently, so you guys can expect him in a lot more videos.
Piercing blood!
And if you have some other verses you'd like to see him throw hands with, then let me know in the comments below. And as always, spoilers beware for the JJK manga. That being said, if you guys are ready to see some real epic and badass fights, then make sure to subscribe and hit that bell while you're down there. But without any further ado, let's get straight into this with Yuji's first opponent. Yuji vs Tenya Ida. Now this matchup is a classic clash of raw curse energy versus speed-based techniques. Ida's engine quirk makes him one of the fastest characters in My Hero, and when he activates Reciprocal Turbo, he can blitz most opponents before they can even react. But Yuji is built to handle speedsters. He's already reacted to attacks moving at the speed of sound, kept pace with an awakened Maki while fighting Sukuna, at his immense durability, and Yuji can afford to take hits that would completely cripple most others. The real difference here is endurance and versatility. Ida's reciprocal techniques eventually stall his engines, while Yuji's stamina, and notably his Black Flash consistency, only gets deadlier as the fight drags on. Eventually, Yuji would adapt to his speed, close the gap,
kill confirmed,
and his relentless combos would prove too much for Ida to withstand. His KD? 1-0. Let's see who he's got next. Yuji vs Mirko. Now, if there was one character from My Hero that Yuji could have an absolute slugfest with, it would be Mirko. Her rabbit quirk gives her monstrous lower body strength, superhuman reflexes, and agility that lets her blitz through high-end nomus like they're training dummies. Every kick she dishes out carries enough force to shatter concrete, and her stamina and pain tolerance are legendary. Even after losing an arm and a leg, she kept fighting until the battle was won. That kind of ferocity makes her one of the hardest heroes to put down. However, Yuji is built for battles exactly like this. And unlike Mirko, who relies almost entirely on her physical quirk, Yuji brings a lot more to the table that Mirko simply cannot overcome or compete with. Her kicks would definitely do some damage if they land, but it's nothing Yuji couldn't heal with his reverse curse technique. On the other hand, Mirko wouldn't be able to heal anything that Yuji cuts off with the Shrine Curse technique, which, although it probably wouldn't stop her from fighting because that's how much of a beast she is, over time the damage would add up and Yuji would overwhelm her with ease, which brings his KD up 2-0, but let's see if he can keep it up for the next round. Yuji vs Mirio Togata. This fight would be one of Yuji's toughest matchups yet, not because Mirio overwhelms him with raw strength, but because of how impossible he is to pin down. With his permeation quirk, Mirio can face through all attacks, slipping in and out of the ground while striking from impossible angles. We saw just how effective this was during his fight against Overhaul squad, where he was practically untouchable and dismantled multiple opponents without taking a single hit. Now, normally, Yuji adapts to speedsters and heavy hitters by tanking hits and countering with his own powerful attacks. He can trade blows with the best and come out on top thanks to Black Flash and Shrine. But Mirio's quirk doesn't give Yuji much to hit in the first place. Now, you could consider his domain expansion his last resort, but even that wouldn't really be effective since in this case,
Domain expansion.
Mirio could use his quirk to slip out of it. On the flip side, Yuji's sheer durability make him incredibly hard to actually put down. Mirio doesn't have the destructive power of someone like Deku or All Might. So even with perfect angles, it's unlikely he lands a decisive finish. With neither fighter able to fully overcome the other's strengths, this clash ends in a rare stalemate and Yuji's KD remains the same, 2-0. But let's see how he fares against his final opponent. Yuji vs Overhaul. I think Overhaul would give Yuji some serious PTSD based on how similar his abilities are to Mahito. His quirk is one of the most dangerous in all of My Hero Academia. With a single touch, he can disassemble and reassemble anything, whether that's the battlefield around him or even a person's body. We saw how terrifying this could get in his fight against Deku, where he fused with his own men and morphed into a giant kaiju and reshaped the ground itself into a weapon. Against most opponents, this overwhelming control of the environment is an instant checkmate. But Yuji is far from a typical fighter. His speed, reflexes, and relentless close quarters pressure don't give Overhaul much breathing room. But more importantly, Yuji's immense durability and reverse curse technique allow him to keep fighting even after sustaining what would normally be fatal injuries. Now granted, Overhaul can also heal his body if he just destroys and reassembles himself.
Black blood!
So the finishing blow probably wouldn't come from a Black Flash, but a Soul Dismantle. While Overhaul can repair flesh, he doesn't have a counter to the sure hit effect of Yuji's domain. That's the one thing his quirk simply can't fix. With a decisive strike to his soul, Yuji tears through him, ending the fight outright. And that wraps up Yuji's run through this round of My Hero Academia opponents. From blitzing Ida, to matching Mirko's relentless energy, to clashing with Mirio's tricky intangibility, and finally dismantling Overhaul's monstrous quirk, Yuji once again proves why he's one of the most dangerous close-quarters fighters in modern shonen. He closes this gauntlet with a 3-0 KD, and honestly, the fact that Mirio managed to walk away without an outright loss just shows how insane his quirk really is. But let me know in the comments below, did you think some fights would go differently, or did most of these matchups play out the way you expected? Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed these animations, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.